Morioh-Cho Radio. We love Morioh-Cho.
Hey
But
guys,
here's
it's
the
me.
thing.
I started recording.
Okay, so here's the thing with Smash, right?
Hi, you
This is
do.
probably gonna be a podcast episode, so hello.
Yeah, it's basically gonna be a podcast episode. Welcome to the new podcast.
Finally, hopefully we can get our COVID test things and we can actually do an in-person one. I'll bring my mic over. But anyway, so like I was saying, so Smash basically it's just like, oh yeah, also we're talking about Smash again.
We're talking
Smash
about Super
basically, like-
Smash Brothers. Yes.
Super Smash Brothers. Wait, which one though? Are we talking about 3DS?
Obviously. Yes, that one.
So the thing with Smash Bros, I think Sakurai has said this multiple times, but he cares that the character that he picks are fun to play instead of their iconicness. That's kind of why like he's kept like Metroid characters, even though I never even knew who Metroid was or like.
Wait,
Who's
wait,
Metroid?
wait.
Metroid? You mean the person in the armor?
No,
That's
no,
Metroid?
no. Hold on. Are you saying Sakurai does care about them being fun to play, or cares about them
Yes.
being a good representation?
He said he wants them to be
Well,
fun
it's
to
both.
play.
Okay.
It's
All
both
right.
fun to play and like representing their series well.
Because I think, although both are important, that the gameplay is far more important.
Yeah, true, but
Like-
gameplay, but like. I don't know. I just don't think Smash tries to go for that. It's like I said, it's more of a celebration than what it wants to be like an actual game.
Yes, but in being a celebration of video games, it's also
should be,
a video
it
game.
should be fun.
Yeah, it's also a video game by itself. Let me get the pop filter so I don't murder people's ears. It should
It's too
be.
late for that.
Other than that, if it's not gonna attempt to be like a well-regulated game that focuses on gameplay, why isn't it a movie? Why isn't it a book? Why isn't it
Because
like?
I don't think Nintendo makes
Because they already made some
Well, then why make the
unnecessary
game?
fan fiction.
Exactly. Why? No one's gonna beat that. Literally bigger than any Bible on planet Earth fan fiction. So
It is the Bible.
it's the one true Bible, the Subspace Emissary's Conquest, or whatever the hell it's called.
I need to read that.
Impossible. There's not enough time left in the human existence to read that entire thing.
Even if you started reading it when you were a baby, you probably wouldn't be able to finish it.
Although that's hyperbolic. If you started reading it today and you read a page a day, which is pretty decent, you wouldn't finish it. You wouldn't
Nice.
finish it. He's still writing it. It's not done. It's been years.
It'll never be done.
It'll
What
never-
the heck?
Yeah, he's not done.
He's kind of haunted as a ghost, and he'll still receive updates.
Yeah.
You'll look at it. Wait, did this get updated? What the fuck?
Yeah, there'll be a news report that he died, but then the next day there's an update.
That'd be so cool.
Oh man.
He
It's like
finished
Jojo's
it, but
Bizarre
he's just
Adventure, like,
slowly
the next
releasing
one line
it
takes
over
to, like,
time,
like-
so we can have content.
That's pretty good.
It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where the next one in line takes the place as the protagonist role, but this time it's like takes the place as the writer role.
Yes, that is the next. But good old Smash.
No, what's gonna happen is it's gonna have a character read the fan fiction itself, and so it's gonna repeat the whole fan fiction.
Oh, good lord.
forever.
Oh no. Oh god.
Also, I've been learning to play Greninja. They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
Ninja's got some stuff.
Stuff? I'm stuff? I haven't made that joke in years.
It's been years.
I'm gonna play like every Roy player, neutral air every time.
But that's
Damn.
every
It
Fire
was worth
Emblem
it.
character. Except for Marth.
Byleth doesn't really.
Okay,
Well,
so
Byleth
what would
also
you do
stinks.
if the last character of this fighter pass was a Fire Emblem character?
I'd fucking be
It
mad.
depends on.
I don't
which
know what
Fire
you
Emblem
expect me to do.
character. I think I
There
would think
aren't
if it
any
was-
good. Listen, there's not a good enough Fire Emblem pick to justify it. There's no character in Fire Emblem series. No, listen to me. There's no character in the entire Fire Emblem series that is going to justify getting a pick over other characters. It's just
Well,
not gonna happen.
Hold on.
They're
Alpha Red-
overrepresented.
Alpha
I'm
Red-
sorry that you're wrong. I'm sorry that you're wrong, but
Hold
know
on.
you could be
But
wrong.
Alpha Red-
Yeah, I'm
What
sure
if
Alpha.
Alpha Red got
I
his
don't
character
care
right?
what the fuck Alpha Red says. I don't care who or what Alpha Red is. I don't want him over Dante, I'm not gonna.
No,
I'm not
Alpharetta
gonna
the
go.
YouTuber wants Lynn in Smash.
I'm not gonna
Alpharetta the
go.
YouTuber wants Lynn in Smash.
I don't give a fuck what he
Lynn's-
wants.
Because Lynn is in
I don't
Project
give a
M.
goddamn fuck what Alpharad wants. He could fucking pay me money and then I'll care, but as far as I could tell, I haven't gotten a paycheck from him in the mail. So no, I don't give a fuck what Alpharad thinks. He's not me. He can want any Fire Emblem character in the universe. He can fucking go
But
make
if
his own game if he wants it that badly.
It'd be such a meme if Gatekeeper.
No, it
the
wouldn't be.
NPC,
It would be
got
the
it.
worst. It would literally be the second best example of Nintendo wants money. First one, of course, being Steve.
No, I don't
Yeah?
think that was. See, I forgot what fucking Final
I
Smash
enjoy
was saying.
Steve. I
Yeah,
get it
Steve's
if
pretty
you don't
fun.
want them,
And plus, like,
but I
come on.
enjoy them.
I think
I think it was inevitable for Steve to get in because he was.
it
Like,
isn't inevitable. Nothing is inevitable.
Because obviously, okay, you can say that Steve got in because it's Minecraft's popular, but you can't ignore the fact that
God
it's,
damn, I was
a part of
facing
gaming
left.
history. Like, it's an iconic game of gaming history. It sold over like so many copies. It's like one of the
So
most
just
popular
make it
games
a
on-
spirit
So what
or
you're
me.
what you're saying is it's popular then. What
Just
you're
make it a spirit or a me,
Yeah,
like
it's
saying.
popular.
what you're
That's
saying
the
is
whole-
it's popular.
The whole thing of Smash Bros. Is because
Okay,
it's popular.
The video
Like, I
game
think-
Minecraft is
and even if
popular.
you
Does
say
that
that-
mean Steve is a good character?
No.
He's a texture.
Like-
He's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks with a texture wrapped around it.
Oh,
No
Beckett, you
story,
forgot the
no
character with the
context.
deepest
Everyone
role.
I've ever met in my entire life who plays Minecraft at their home replaces Steve with another skin. Steve isn't a character. He's a texture. He's a
Beckett.
texture. We were talking about
But
this the
he's
other day.
iconic.
Ryu in
Pretty much he's
Fortnite.
iconic,
Remember
right?
Ryu in Fortnite? Remember when we were talking about he's literally just a model holding a gun? That's not Ryu, right? Steve's not a character. He's a texture. He's a texture
like
holding a
that's different. I
pickaxe.
feel like
It's
it's
not
different
different. It's the
things.
same thing. He's a placeholder that was meant to be anything but what he is now. It's
about
the
He was
dumbest.
original- No. Here's the thing with Minecraft, though. He was the original Minecraft skin. Like, even when
Okay,
skins
who
didn't come out,
cares?
you
That
played
still
it.
makes him a skin.
Beckett, what about Villager?
Villager has
Yeah.
more personality because there's interactivity to him. He has mechanics.
But you choose his personality just like Steve.
No, he has exactly one. I didn't say Villager had a lot of personality. He has exactly one bit of personality, which is looking like Squidward and going, "Arr." Steve has nothing.
What? No.
Literally zero.
What villager are you talking
Oh,
about?
I thought you were talking about the Villager from Minecraft. You're talking about
No, I'm
Villager.
talking
Animal
about Smash.
Crossing.
No, that's also a bad
What
pick.
the fuck?
Villager is also a shitty pick. Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm
as
not-
long as you
Yeah,
say
no,
both
I'm not
of
gonna
them
be
are bad for the
hypocritical
same
about that.
reason.
I'm not gonna be.
Alright, good.
I'm not gonna be hypocritical about that. No, Villager from Animal Crossing is a shitty pick. It should have been Isabelle the first time, but of course Isabelle didn't exist when Villager. No, wait, no, she did. Yeah, it should have just been Isabelle. It should have just been Isabelle. Who gives a fuck about Villager? Because none of the villagers that they have in the game is me in my copy.
Personality.
What about Pokemon?
I think it's
training?
important when your entire game is based around characters from other franchises. When you don't opt in for original personality. When you don't opt in for original personalities, I'm expecting you to choose good characters because you're literally picking and choosing characters. And if we're doing that, why would you ever pick a personality-less default texture? That's so stupid. That's like
Beckett,
making
I
a
can say
character
something
yourself.
about related to this. Watching the Smash trailers, they all have tons of personality, and then Steve's just, oh look, guy walks in,
It's
eats
literally
steak, walks out.
It's not even that Minecraft
no
went into
personality.
Smash. It's that Mario falls into a Minecraft cave. Like that's the entire trailer.
Mario's
it has
the only
nothing to
personality
do.
there.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Minecraft Steve. Steve's there to eat food and leave. Like the most
Steve's
that
there to
happens
be a
in that
douchebag to
trailer.
Mario and let him die.
Exactly.
Here's
The
the
most
thing,
that
though.
happens in that trailer is that a creeper blows up Mario. That has nothing to do with Steve. Oh, is it because Steve's nothing? He's literally zero.
Minecraft.
I don't care that he
Beckett,
represents
you
Minecraft.
forget the character with the deepest lore in Smash Ultimate, Zombie.
Yes, the most Minecraft's lore of all time.
Here's the thing, right? They don't care if they have a personality or not, or if the character is.
Maybe they should.
They care
Maybe
if
they
it's fun,
fucking
and they
should.
care if they're iconic in some way.
The
Why can't we just agree to disagree?
I mean,
Like, honestly.
that's a good. We can agree to disagree, but I want you to understand that when I make
understand why you
objective
don't like
complaints,
I understand
yes,
your point of view.
I'm making objective complaints though. Like I have personal
Yeah, you're not
opinions.
just saying Steve sucks.
Yeah, I have personal reasons as to not liking Steve, but also I can understand Steve has objective reasons as to why he's a bad pick. Like having no reason to be a character, because he's not a character, he's a default texture.
He's the
He has
name
no
of the
personality.
default texture.
He is literally just the name of the default texture. He is a name, a line of code in the game's files. He
Well,
is
then
not
it's Minecraft-
mentioned by that name ever once. That name is practically made up. Steve Minecraft is practically a fake name because he never goes by that name by anything in the entire
Question.
universe of Minecraft,
Question.
meaning that Steve is
Question.
bullshit. It's not even real.
If Minecraft had to be in Smash, right? And
It doesn't
don't-
have to
don't-
be
don't-
in Smash.
Don't say it doesn't have to be. No, hold on.
doesn't
No,
have
if
to
it had to be,
Minecraft
then
was
it
dead.
should have been
Okay.
Minecraft
Right.
story
All right,
mode.
let's say. Let's see.
What would you choose?
Who would it would actually, despite me not liking the game, it should have been a character from story mode. Because those are characters. Steve
No,
is fucking
dude,
nothing.
story mode
Those are
sucks,
characters.
though.
Story mode does suck. You know the thing is, this is a hard question because Minecraft is an awful pick in general because there's no good characters to pick. But if I had to, I would still choose the character over the
But
default
that's-
texture. So yeah,
that's
story
not
mode
a
sucks,
Telltale
but those are
rep,
real
though.
characters. But it's Minecraft. What the fuck do you want from me? The answer otherwise is no character for Minecraft. There are no good picks. What is that? What you want me to say? There's nothing. They're all just textures. They don't have
Based on
anything going for them.
personality, Yeah, look, based on
And
personality, I
story,
think there's
and
no
relevance,
good pick.
and
There's no going off your
anything.
personality.
Then what the
That's the
fuck were
thing.
they working for? Why is Steve in then?
Iconicness. They were going
Iconicness. Okay, great.
Money.
Then why not
Reagan,
just
are
put
you gonna-
every
are you gonna
single
fight me?
texture block? Why not put every single Tetris block in the game then? They're pretty fucking iconic. They've been around
They're-
for
How would
the
you make-
longest
They are,
they've
though.
ever
They're
been.
spirits.
I
Oh,
can see a stage of Tetris, but how would you make a move set?
dang, that's crazy. I could ask the same question about every character in the universe.
Reagan, are you gonna fight?
I'm just listening to this.
Yeah, we could do
garbage
the
fire.
we could do
Alright.
this now if you want. I got sushi.
Damn.
Okay,
Bro, why do you
so
have my
here's-
cat?
We were also.
I'm
talking
eating your
about-
cat right now though.
My
The
cat's
reason-
name is Sushi. How dare you? Beckett, stop!
What
No!
were you gonna say?
Slurping on the
Cole?
tail.
Oh,
So here's the. So we were also going to talk about the prices of cartridges. So here's the thing with cartridges for Nintendo Switch.
mm-hmm.
They're actually very expensive to make. So that's the reason why most indie games don't get physical releases. Like, I think it's just a miracle that Hades got it. But like,
I'm not
it's a-
talking about the price of the cartridge. I'm talking about the price of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like, it's so expensive for the cartridges, they have to make it $60 because
All right.
they won't get their money back.
The
What if
same
they
as.
just didn't. What if they just didn't use cartridges for some games?
Although I understand that,
I don't know
you
how
d-
you can't because it's a Switch console.
Here's the thing. Although I understand where you're coming from, literally any object produced physically costs money to make. So that's a decision that a businessman made. I'm not going to feel empathetic for them because it's not about the physical creation of the disc. That's not what I'm judging. I'm judging what's on the disc. The disc or cartridge is just a glorified way to give data on a system. So I don't care about making the cartridge because those get made in a Chinese factory and it costs like 3 kids' lives. What actually I'm judging is the video game that is slapped onto the cartridge, which is not
Well,
nearly
I don't
worth
know
the
how you
price
don't
of
think
$60.
Skyward Sword's a full game. Like, it's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
also
as
a
big
game
as
that's
Breath of
10
the
years
Wild.
old. It's also a 10-year-old
Okay.
game.
So would you say that Breath of the Wild should be like $30 if it was on a new, like, the next gen console?
Well, what do you mean by next gen console? Like if Breath of the
Like,
Wild got
if-
a release on
If
PS5?
the next console they release after the Switch is like in they put Breath of the Wild on it, which they probably
Mhm.
will. Do you think it should be like $30?
I think it should be 20 to 30, yeah. That seems fair.
Why? Because it's such a big game. You
I don't
discover so many
care.
more things about it.
I don't
Because
care. It's
been
not
out
new.
For so long.
It's been out. It's not new.
I don't think that justifies a drop in
It
price,
absolutely justifies a drop
can-
in
I can-
price.
I can-
Are you
I
gonna
can-
buy an
okay.
Atari game for $130? If you
though.
adjust the
130, that's-
no,
that's
listen to me.
if they
If you
up the
adjust for the
price,
price, no. If you adjust the price for inflation, $60 in whatever fucking time the Atari came out would be like $130 to $150. Are you gonna spend $150 on an Atari cartridge? It's the equivalent in monetary value.
I-
Man, that's
Like, I don't-
crazy. Isn't
I'd
that
say
insane?
when you're buying a game, you're also just buying the fact that it's a new game with new gameplay.
Yeah, that is a big driving force of some purchases. I feel like a lot of people buy games when they're new and popular and like them when they're that, but it takes a particularly good game to be worth buying after its famous moment.
And then there's games that still release at full price again and again just because they want money.
Like I
Skyrim.
yeah, I will defend Modern Warfare for a few. I'll defend Call of Duty for a few things, but like they were doing so well. They made Modern Warfare, and I'm like, sick, awesome. They actually took a large amount of time to produce this game, opposed to just going the yearly route. A year later, they made Cold War, and Cold War sucks, go figure. I'm not going to defend that decision. They took the time to make Modern Warfare, and that turned out well. Instead of learning from that decision, they chose to go immediately back into releasing the yearly release, and oh look, Cold War sucks now. And, well, that sucks. I'm not buying that for $60. It's objectively worse than the game before it that I already own. So, like, what's up with that?
Well, I think that depends on game quality, doesn't it?
It sounds
it
a lot
does,
like
it
EA
does.
Sports games.
It does depend on quality,
I
but
think the Skyward Sword has a lot of quality, especially now that you can choose button controls.
I think that's something that should have been evident since day one, though. Like, that's a day one issue. Is a Wii game has motion controls, that makes a lot of games worse.
Yeah, but at the time, like, I guess Nintendo thought that it would be fine because
Yeah, it's what they were pushing at the time. A lot of game devs didn't want to do it,
Plus-
but had to because Nintendo higher up said, "Hey, you got to make the game for the waggle
Plus,
stick," and
like,
that's fair.
think of
But
it
like,
from a
come on.
market standpoint, right? Like, would you want to be Link, or like, would you rather be Link, or would you want to just control Link? Like, because I rather be Link, you know, like feel like I'm actually the one swinging the sword.
I mean, if you want to be personally here, my objective opinion, no, I don't want to be Link. I think in Skyward Sword he's a massive nerd. But
That's what people like. That's what, like, especially the girls. That's what they like about him.
Skyward Sword Link,
They-
specifically Skyward Sword Link,
Well, I don't know. I don't know how about the other Links are in the other games, but
because
like,
I think they're talking about Breath of the Wild
If he's a
Link.
nerd, then obviously the girls are gonna like that.
Well,
because,
I think they're talking about how Breath of the Wild Link is an absolute feral goblin human being that just eats toenails, and that's funny. And it is. There's personality in that.
It is.
But Skyward Sword Link has, like, nothing going for him. The
Oh,
coolest part about
it was-
Skyward Sword is the very end of the game, and it only takes 15 hours to get there.
Speaking of which,
You
but,
only
like,
have to
I mentioned,
revisit the same 3 areas like 4 times.
Like 4 times.
Have y'all seen the meme of rehydrated Ganon? I think you probably have.
I
It's pretty
have.
old by now,
I have, yeah. It's
but-
That's
My
pretty good.
gosh,
That should be Skyward Sword remake. That's the final boss.
that would be really cool. I don't know. What do you think?
It's
of the
not
story
gonna
of Skyward
happen
Sword?
because it's really cool.
What do I think about Skyward Sword?
like story-wise.
Story-wise, I think it had a great story in the works, but they clouded too much of it with things that don't matter. There's a lot of great character development that happens in the game, and Skyward Sword produces a very good integral link, in the Zelda series, with how it explains Ganon. Regardless,
Wait, what's
though,
the link?
if I remember correctly, Skyward Sword Link
It's the first game in the
is the first
timeline.
game in the timeline, yeah, where you get
Where's the-
Link
yeah,
going
first-
down.
And then Ganon says he curses Link
Ganon-
and Zelda so
yeah.
that
Yeah.
he'll constantly go for
throughout
their
the
descendants.
ages, yeah, throughout
Wait,
the
so what's
ages they'll
the-
go for their descendants.
So that's trying to explain why it's the same 3 base
Same
characters.
3 base characters.
Yeah. Wait, did you say that was something wrong with the story? Like there's a missing like link to it, or
It's
A missing link?
A missing
Yeah.
link. I think it spends a lot.
And always do you get a missing link? Because it's Legend of Zelda.
I think it spends a little bit too much time on things that don't matter. There are a number of NPCs that have good character development, like Groose. There's also a
The
larger
Groosinator.
percentage of NPCs that don't
but-
matter, and you have
do
to
you really want to
discuss
spend more
things
time
with.
on P?
Wait, Beckett, I gotta tell you, the best thing about Groose, his Loftwing has the hair.
Oh
The
yes,
same hair.
yes, that's a pretty good thing.
I can say that like one thing that they kind of messed up was Fee, because if Fee is like
I thought it was Fi.
assistant, no, it's Fee. I think if
It's-
Fee is the assistant to like whoever wields the Master Sword, then
Yeah.
why isn't she like in every game?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well,
Motion
I think
controls.
they tried to reference that in Breath of the Wild because they said something about hearing a voice.
Yeah.
Oh, is she like just the voice of the Master Sword?
She acts as the voice of the Master Sword, but she has a
so I
physical
guess-
appearance in Skyward Sword.
So I guess maybe it's because it was the first ever instance of the Master Sword in like the
Yes.
4. Maybe that was why. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it would have been the first because it was the first in the timeline.
But then why is the Master Sword not annoying, but Fee is?
Well, V has issues,
To be
but
fair,
she could have been.
they introduced this character after every other damn game with the Master Sword.
Well, V has issues, but she's not the worst character in like Legend of Zelda.
Except for the fact that they go, "Ah, yes, your batteries are low."
That is one of the issues she has. She
Even though
has
that was
a number
most
of
Wii
them.
games.
That was every Wii game. That's most Nintendo games. They're always like, "Hey, you
Also,
should take a break."
take a break.
Yeah, you can't play the game for any longer than 10 minutes. You little baby 3-year-old. You're crazy. You're insane. You'll get eye cancer or something. Stop playing our game.
So you paid $50.
Just
you
give us
paid
the
$50,
money and don't
$60
play
for
the
it.
game.
It's yeah, that I never understood why there isn't just an option to turn that off. Apparently, it's too much work.
Too much work went into those damn
Too much work. You can't not let the player get interrupted every 10 minutes by V going, "You gotta take a break, dude. I'm serious."
This time, oh shit, I'm dead.
Yeah. I use all out attack with
Joker's final smash be like, "You dead."
Joker's Final Smash be like, "Get back, move."
What the hell?
Dun, dun,
Yeah, I have a
dun,
second
dun,
chance for a
dun.
final smash with the Spirit.
God damn it.
Oh man,
I think
I'm
it's 'cause it's
glad
more
I'm not
honest
playing
too.
that game.
Spirits are really fun, actually, though. It's kind of like like
Joker's final smash be like, "Oh, you think you have a chance of surviving? I'll just kill you instantly."
There's literally no reason why the spirits mechanics aren't just in special battle mode.
And I'm hit by a third final smash.
You gotta admit, though, a lot of the final smashes in Smash Bros. Are really fucking cool, like Joker's.
They're
just
great.
And
fuck
there's
you
so
all
many
the
that
time,
are
so you know,
absolute
sick.
ass.
Well, yeah, they're pretty great visual spectacles sometimes, but they're terrible gameplay mechanics. They're unblockable. You can't parry them. They have pretty bad hitboxes usually. They're just a
You can
get back
still dodge 'em.
mechanic. Yeah, you can
Also,
still dodge
Beckett,
them with a
a
game
lot-
that
but aren't-
some
explicitly.
characters have final
Oh,
smashes
there's
that
like a
are just
get back mechanic?
awful.
Yeah, some also just have bad final smashes.
Greninja's final smash literally just hits them like 10 times and hits them downwards into the middle of the stage.
But most fighting games have like a meter to have a comeback mechanic. I don't see.
But that
like,
comeback mechanic isn't an instant I press
It's
button
not
do
overpowered.
move. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
No,
not Street
let me
Fighter.
give an example then. KOF, you do a super, you can block it.
Terry's
back.
supers and smash, you can block them.
You hold
Except
back.
for the final smash.
Yeah, this final smash is like Terry has supers that work. They're literally the example that work. They do everything that final smashes should do, and they work perfectly fine. But then the final smash doesn't. Like what? That's so stupid. Like supers in fighting games like KOF
And
or
then
Street
they're also
Fighter, they
unbalanced.
aren't just a move where you press B and then the opponent can take damage, or they might be able to jump it sometimes depending on the character. No. They could just hold back, and then you look like an idiot and you wasted your meter. It's something you actually require skill to do, as opposed to you build up a meter naturally over match, press B, and then hope to hit this move that the opponent.
Also, final
very
smash
likely
meter
gonna
builds
hit
up
thereby.
faster when you're taking damage, which is stupid.
Here's something I will.
In my
I will
opinion.
say though, I think blocking a smash attack is like kind of is not fair because like
How so?
here's the,
On what
because-
planet?
Because like the shields work differently than it was in other games. Because like shields in Smash, like they have a limit to them. You can
Yes.
like break them. If it was
There
like,
are
shield
a number of other games that have guard break mechanics. KOF has some guard break mechanics.
If it was a thing where you could break
Street
the
Fighter has
shield
guard
instead,
break
and like
mechanics.
if you could sacrifice the shield when they do the super, and then you're left vulnerable for a few seconds, that would be fine.
Other
Because then
games
at least the
do
super would've done
that.
something. But here's the thing though, right? I think you should at least parry like final smashes, because like just like Evil Moment 37, where he parried the fucking super.
He parried the
Chun-Li,
whole
which was
super.
sick.
Yes.
Dude, every time I watch it, honestly, every time I watch that,
it's the
so
best
fucking
moment
sick.
ever.
Because it needed skill.
It never
what-
ever
what
stops
Smash Bros.
being hype. It's so good.
I think Smash Bros would like have way more like cool hype moments like that if you could like parry like final smash.
If there were big moves that weren't just I win the game, yeah. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to block.
Like if you could parry
final
Terry's
smashes.
final smash like 3 times, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, that would be sick, wouldn't it? And there's no reason why you can't block them, because they would, as final smashes, naturally do a lot of damage, and as such, they would also do a lot of shield damage. So the worry with blocking them is that they would break your shield, but you would still want to wager that over getting hit by it, because getting hit by a final smash very typically will just kill you. So even if it doesn't break your shield, you're still running the risk of taking a bunch of shield damage, which if the opponent is smart, they'd be able to rush down and maybe break the rest of that shield damage, causing you to do other responses so that you don't get a shield break, which would promote actual skill-based thought process gameplay. But unfortunately, we don't get that. We get a mechanic where you press the B button and the opponent gets hit.
Yeah, I can see your point of view on that, but like I think if they fixed it up like what I said, like because dodging a smash attack in Smash Bros is a pretty hype moment, because it's like it's more of a butt clenching moment where it's just like, oh shit, you know. I think those are pretty cool moments to have, and I feel like that's why pairing a smash attack would be really cool, like because then you could just like have like an Evil Moment 37, like I said.
Yeah. Dodging is nice. It's just you get invincibility frame through the dodge. But sometimes Final Smashes, like one of the other issues I have with Final Smashes, is sometimes their hitboxes are awful, like explicitly bad, and so
Yeah.
dodging them isn't
some
good.
of them are like overpowered, and some of them are just like
Joker's, he goes
nice
forward,
dodge.
and Joker goes forward and back. You can't dodge that. If you dodge to left and then right, you don't have enough time. You get hit through the frames of which you get hit.
Though.
You can jump once, and then some characters can't make that jump, so that basically it's matchup determined. If you could block the first route and jump it second time, that would be cool, but you can't block supers. It's Final Smashes.
Yeah.
You're wishing they were supers.
Wish they were supers, man. I'd actually play with them if they were supers.
With that said, what's your favorite Final Smash?
That's a good question. I mean, Terry's is pretty good, but I don't know. Sephiroth's is great too. I still wish it was 5 minutes.
I like Fox and Falco's ones. Those are because replacing Landmaster with
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
way better.
Landmaster was so
Also,
bad, but now it's cool.
The melee also, the Yoshi's Final Smash, the melee reference is really cool.
That was a fun one too. Yeah. Yoshi.
Just all the cinematic ones are really cool.
I mean, that's what they're there to be, visual spectacles, but when the
Which disappoints
gameplay
me-
transition is unfortunate, then it kind of sucks.
It disappoints me a bit that Pyre and Mithra's Final Smash is like it goes into a cinematic cutscene kind of, and then goes back into the real stage thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at least it's like an iconic attack that from their games that I like,
Yeah, iconic.
and I like how he has two, just like Ryu and Ken.
Oh, they get two, do they?
Well, it depends on which one you have out.
I see. Oh yeah, because there's two of them. I forgot about that.
Yeah, okay, so I do like Pyre Myth as a character, but I'm hoping.
Do you want to get into
that-
this? Are you sure you want to get into
No.
this?
No. But I'm not saying like iconicness. I don't want to argue
Yeah.
about that. But what I'm saying is, if they were, it's two characters in one, right? But I'm hoping that doesn't mean that like it takes.
Imagine
up
if it took up
character
2 of the
slots.
DLC spots.
Yeah, that's what I'm
as
saying.
a fuck
If it-
you.
That would be. I wouldn't like that. That would be kind of like a.
If they took up 2 slots, I would be very, very, very upset. But I don't
would
think
be
it's
too,
taking
'cause I
up
like
2
the
slots.
character.
It's not.
I really love the character. I love
Yeah, I
Xenoblade so much, but like I don't think that justifies like having 6 characters by saying, "Oh, because they're 2 characters in one." That's just like,
Damn it.
nah.
It's just like that joke I made the other day. That's them just making Echo Fighters DLCs. Like, that would be the worst.
Yeah, but that they said they wouldn't do Echo Fighters at least. So
Yes.
like,
Yes.
So that at least like gets rid of some like characters that you would think of.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least makes you hope they'd actually be implemented better.
Yeah, any time that there could be an Echo Fighter implemented, they should just be a free update. Oh, is that asking too much? Okay.
Yeah, if it was a free update, I wouldn't mind that. Or like a $1.
Because it'd be like, why should I pay
like
money for a character I already own?
Exactly.
But like, here's the thing: like, even Mii Fighters are 75 cents per like costume. I feel like if it was like $1 per like Echo Fighter, that would be a fair thing.
No.
Yeah,
As
decreased
long as there were no
price is
changes
good
to
too.
them.
Decreased price is good too. Anything that isn't just acting like it's a normal DLC fighter is pretty good. But it would be nice to see if just be a free update. But I think that's asking too much.
Yeah. But
Bro, you're asking Nintendo for anything other than $60 a thing?
Crazy, insane, never happening.
Those indie devs at Nintendo are gonna starve.
Those indie devs at Nintendo, dude, you understand that they need to pay so much money to the Yakuza? They're in debt. They really, 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 really need to pay back that gambling debt.
Like, bro, they're only releasing these games because they have to.
They have to. They're in hot water with the Yakuza.
To be fair, like
they're only bad games
community's
because they can't spend any more time or they die.
Like, think about it. I wonder why like 3D All Stars is so bad, because people are like, "We're 3D All Stars, Nintendo or whatever," and then that's why they didn't probably have enough time to work on it, because they're like, "Okay, we got to release this thing now, or they're gonna be on our ass."
That I don't think people. Well, obviously, there's truth to the statement that Nintendo fans are incredibly fickle and impossible to please. But
yeah, especially when they haven't even played like most of Nintendo's titles, like Xenoblade and Fire Emblem, and they're like, "We got another Fire Emblem character in Smash." Like, are you really a Nintendo fan?
that isn't what I was going for. In fact, that proves my point. However, what I'm trying to say is that it used to be Nintendo was really good at ignoring fickle people and actually spending the amount of time they need to make a game, so that way when they do eventually release the game, it's a very polished game. However, they got into the awfully bad habit of people blindly defending them, and that way they can get away with releasing a half-ass game because people are just going to defend it anyway, and so they don't have to put 5 years into a project like 3D Mario All-Stars because, dude, who cares? People are going to buy it anyway.
I feel like Pokemon's a prime example of this shit.
Pokemon is a great example of that. Pokemon Sun and Moon.
But I do think that Pokemon does their own thing, which
Sword and
makes
Shield.
me don't like Pokemon Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but show Nintendo that.
I will tell Nintendo that. They're not going to listen.
I mean, Pokemon showed Nintendo that they could do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, nothing's good about that scenario there. No one really wins.
Except Nintendo.
Except Nintendo, because they get money.
Well, I think Pokemon Company gets more money.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I had no idea.
My counter gave me iframes.
Your counter... How?
The counter release state gives you invincibility frames, yeah.
So
for some
then
characters.
I just go through him though. I go through him with my.
Yeah, he does. He straight up doesn't have a hitbox.
When you're invincible, final smashes just do nothing.
Wouldn't it? Oh yeah, that's the idea.
I thought counters like always like.
Except for some reason, my down aerial, if you're invincible, it still just bounces off of you.
Weird. What character are you guys playing?
I'm Greninja, they're Joker.
I see.
I think Joker's a really like nice character because of his speedy combat. I like the speedy characters. That's why
I like playing Greninja because it's interesting to learn characters so different from my other mains.
My only problem with Joker is that his persona mechanics should have been handled better. It's automatic when it shouldn't be. It really should be like his down B or something. I don't know. Maybe his neutral B. He should be able to manually activate it, is what I'm saying. Because it serves as a really bad get-back mechanic as it is now, but if you had to wager your own persona meter, like let's say you start the match with it full instead of empty, and then you can use it when you want to, and it's not as strong as it normally is, but you can, you get it start at the map. Kind of, but it's a meter that goes down. It would actually be more similar to the MP mechanic of Hero, where you start with it full and you wager it with doing like these stronger persona variants of moves, but then you can run out of it. That would be a better mechanic, I feel, because as it is now, it's I'm persona mode. You don't get to win now. My counter is now the strongest move in the game. Haha. Stupid.
How did you make that? What the heck?
His recovery is ridiculous.
Yeah, but you were like at the edge of the screen.
Yeah, his recovery is just really ridiculous.
But I pushed into the edge of the screen. I barely recovered with Joker.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's just that good. You gotta beat him. You gotta kick him out of there.
But Greninja also is really light.
Yeah, he's light and has a really good recovery. And it's momentum-based recovery, so it pushes
No,
him
I'm
further.
saying it's light because you can easily knock him too far and he'll just die.
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
Yes.
His recovery is very good, but he can also get smacked off easier.
It's easier to get to a point where you're just dead.
Mm-hmm. An instance of good game design, some might say.
Greninja's very balanced.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his flaws. I can't really think of any major ones.
He gets his ass kicked
I think
easily.
the
He's very predictable if you play him wrong.
The Wii U characters are pretty
Because he
decent.
has multiple options for a lot of situations, but if you only use one, ever, then he can just get countered so easily.
Yeah, he has a number of gimmick moves. His neutral B is probably his most versatile, but it's, his other ones are pretty gimmicky.
His neutral B is good, but it also leaves him really open.
Yeah.
Both because of if you need to take time to charge it, and you can't reverse it.
Anyway, should we talk more about the Nintendo Direct?
There's not a lot to talk about. We sure can, though.
I've only seen the character reveal, and I saw afterwards Skyward Sword. I don't know anything else.
So
So Splatoon 3 is coming out, and
Splatoon what now?
Splatoon 3.
Never heard. What's the Splatoon game?
It's actually a really good.
It's a game where you're sometimes a kid and sometimes a squid.
Is that a Mario game? Is that in the Mario series? Yes.
It actually was originally going to be.
Do you play as Mario?
No.
You play as a Mario.
Well, then why would you play as a Mario game without
Please
Mario?
take me
This game's...
You play as his cousin.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
His cousin, Ario.
Like, okay, so here's the thing with Splatoon.
It's like Mario,
it's kinda
but no
like most
hat.
shooters. It gets repetitive very easily, so that's why I've not really picked it up in a while.
Yeah.
But like,
I've never owned a
most
Splatoon
shooters.
game.
Me neither.
They're actually pretty fun games. Like when you get the game for the
It
first
seems
time and like, play for a while,
interesting.
it's fun. But like every COD game, you're probably gonna drop it for better games that are more interesting. Not to say that, but I think that Splatoon is probably more interesting than COD because of its mechanics. Like it
Seems interesting in that you win by covering more surface area.
Yeah, and
It's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I feel like they should have a knockout mode because that would be a lot of fun. But
A deathmatch mode.
Yeah,
Team
like
deathmatch.
like they do in most games. But
Team
I don't know if that's
deathmatch, you
gonna
got
happen.
sabotage. You would get all the esports classics, but unfortunately, that takes a lot of time to develop, and we're talking about Nintendo.
I do think I like the style. I think the style that they go for is very like Nintendo.
I think your Final Smash just saved me.
Yeah, probably.
I think it works.
It's not that good.
I think it works. I think they could do more with it, though. Also,
Yes, I think that's what this new entry is going to do, though, because they introduced a buddy mechanic. So I wonder if that's going to give like special abilities.
That's what people said about Splatoon 2, though.
Yeah, but this one actually, but like.
I heard Splatoon 1 was good, and I heard nothing about Splatoon 2.
Yeah. So
well, here's the Splatoon 2 adds some mechanics. Like, there's a new weapon that you can actually roll with and like dodge attacks with, which is pretty interesting. Change up the gameplay. So I wonder how these new weapons are going to change.
my one problem with Splatoon will always be online multiplayer shooter on Nintendo servers.
Well, to be fair, it actually does work way better than like Smash and other games.
Also, Splatoon 1, wasn't that before you needed online? To actually play online?
Wasn't that a Wii U title?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then yes,
is.
it was before Nintendo Online.
Oh boy, online shooter game that you have to pay for your internet twice.
You gotta pay for your internet.
That's my biggest problem with
Fellas.
literally every console being online subscription. You have
Blame
to pay for your
Microsoft.
damn internet twice.
You gotta blame
Yeah.
Microsoft for that.
How
It's
much-
Microsoft's fault.
Okay,
Thanks.
how much do you pay
Thanks,
for
Microsoft.
your PlayStation Online?
I pay for it by year, and I think it's $59.99. So $60.
See, like, and I guess you're getting kind of a fair deal.
Don't you get like 2 games a month?
You get an incredibly fair deal. The 2 games you get per month aren't like indie titles. You get like big AAA titles and the deluxe editions of those AAA titles for completely free, and you own them literally as long as you have the PSN activated. And even if it goes deactive and you activate it again, you still own it. And if it's downloaded on your system, since it's downloaded on your system, you can play it at any time. You don't need PS Plus. So
Yeah, it lets you keep the game even after the plus runs out, right?
Yep, as long as it's downloaded onto your system. And if it's not downloaded onto your system, every game that you downloaded to your quote-unquote library, which is games registered to your account, you can download for free as long as you do have the PS Plus or PSN.
Damn it.
So it serves to be a really, really good deal because you can basically interchange out these huge library of games the longer you go on. There's a list of PlayStation Plus benefits. Like most games that are big AAA games have stuff that's like, hey, you're a
Yeah, there's,
PlayStation
like,
Plus
free
member,
stuff
here's
you
this
can
free
get.
stuff you get, yeah. And then there are some games that are just free if you have PS Plus, regardless of the monthly deal. It serves as a really, really good online service. It sucks that it costs money. Blame Microsoft for that, but it's pretty good. And then, of course, the most
Microsoft,
important
you mean
part.
Sony?
No, it's Microsoft's fault because Xbox
Microsoft
Live.
started it,
And
and then everyone's like, ooh,
They started with Xbox Live.
ooh,
If-
money.
Okay.
Because
But Microsoft's deal is isn't it like super unfair?
it's not good at all. It's not good in the slightest.
That's why I think that's the
It's
one I was
the
comparing
second.
to, and I was
Damn
thinking
it.
that Nintendo Online would be good.
Holy
Like
shit.
$20 a year. That's like for online and also like Nintendo games for like a Nintendo fan. That's pretty good.
Well, I
Like,
think
even it. And even
I
if you're
wish
not a
the
Nintendo
game
fan-
library was better.
yeah, I was
that is
about
fair.
to say
But
for
that's
Xbox's
the-
case, they aren't as bad as Nintendo in my view still. Like they're bad, but not as bad as Nintendo's.
But here's the thing though, right? Like yeah, I do wish the game library is better, but I don't think Nintendo can change that because the other companies have to allow them to put it on their site. It's not like it's
No,
not like,
I mean, like,
the Nintendo
why are
Store
we
where, like,
limited to SNES and NES? Why can't we have...
Mhm.
I think we're hoping for
anything-
that for like Game Boy and like N64. Hopefully, that's why we're thinking that it's only a limited time for the Nintendo All Stars because the online might have N64 games that come out and Mario 64.
I'm pretty sure
might be
they
one
just
of them.
made it limited so people would buy it.
Yeah, it probably would just fall under that. I mean, look at Mario 35.
We don't know. We'll have to see why it was limited. But if it was just limited to be limited, and they'll never do anything with the games that they are on the collection, I do think that's pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because there's a digital version that's also limited. Like, why is that limited? That has to be limited for a reason, right?
You'd like to think, but that reason might just be money.
Maybe, but I don't see why. Like, if it was, like, I guess, do they need money now because of COVID? Do you think, or do you think that like?
I think as a company, it's always the right time to get money.
Right, but like they would get money anyway for this collection. It's such a big
But they could
deal.
get
Like,
more.
three
But
big
they could
Mario
get
games?
more money. Maybe
Right.
I think
Why would
they
you
would
go
probably
for
get the
only
same
so
amount of
much
money.
money? Would you go for
Mhm.
more money?
The problem is
like-
when they project higher numbers and don't get those higher numbers, they go to HR and they go to PR and ask PR, why aren't my games selling by the millions? And then PR says, you can make them sell by the millions using artificial rarity, and then they do that.
Here's the thing though, right? I feel like
What?
they'd get more
I
money.
shielded that.
Yeah, it's a 2-hit thing. I feel like
I
they'd
hate
get
that.
more money if they like didn't make it limited time because that way more people would buy it. It's
They'd
because
get
then-
more money over the long run, but they like money now. And they could just do that with any game in the universe because it's not like they made those games recently. They just took a ROM and slapped it onto a cartridge.
Not
That's
even a good
practically free.
ROM.
Yeah, it's not even good ROM. It's bad ROM.
At least they updated
Stinky
it though,
ROM.
because you can now use GameCube controllers on it.
Oh, but did they fix the camera?
Was that not a thing at launch?
That wasn't a thing at launch. That's why I said they fixed
That's
it.
stupid.
That's pretty stupid, yeah. Did they fix the camera?
I think they did actually. Yeah,
That one's the big one for me.
they fixed the. I think they changed it to maybe the original camera. I'm not sure. Well, not they didn't change it, but you can choose which camera you want now. So that's good. I don't know. I 100% all of them. I really enjoyed it. I think like for someone like me who actually never played those games, like I only played N64 on DS, not the original version, and like for someone who never played those games, it's really good. Especially like the Skyward Sword deal. Like I don't care if I have to pay $60. That was like near the original price anyway. Like if I'd be buying it like I would be buying it if I had the Wii that I had.
Since
I don't have my Wii anymore, I can't buy it, and now it's super expensive.
So you got to take account.
So would I rather buy the more expensive online
Is it
version
worth
that
it
people
for
are selling,
you?
or would I rather buy the version that Nintendo's selling that's probably cheaper than that, and that's like the only thing I could get?
This is the thing,
Right.
though. When a game's priced like that, you got to be able to say, all right, for me, it's not worth $60, but someone else, it could be. So you shouldn't judge them if it's worth that much to them.
It becomes hard because when it comes to objectivity, there's absolutely something to be said about like quality. Like there's definitely personal reasons as to why Mario 3D All-Stars might become a better deal because like I don't own N64, I don't own GameCube, and I do have a Wii, but you know, getting 3D All-Stars for the collection of 64 Sunshine and Galaxy 1 could be a good deal because, yeah, you might have never played those games before. But Mario 3D All-Stars, what was it, like $49.99? $39.99?
It was $59.99.
It was 50. It was 60. Okay, so
it's
$60.
the average for every single game.
Yeah,
game, which makes it more of a steal because you're basically getting 3 games in one.
Yeah,
and like
compare that to Insane Trilogy. Compare that to Reignited Trilogy. Same exact premise. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3. Spyro 1, 2, and 3. Less than 30 each game. $29.99 for Insane Trilogy. $29.99 for yep, absolutely. I got mine. I got my copy of each for less than $30.
But those, I feel like those are more like those are PS1 games, right? Those are more. Those are older. Than
And
those are N64 GameCube and Wii.
That's Mario 64 is an N64 title that never got a re-release outside of the DS version.
N64 title. Like,
okay,
GameCube
and
we are way more expensive online. Have you seen the prices for a GameCube?
Oh, then why not emulate it? If that's the issue, then why not emulate the game?
I think I shouldn't say I think I know emulation's illegal, and also like. You can't do emulation on the go with the Nintendo Switch. That's the whole appeal of the Switch is being able to play these games on the go, and actually also being high quality games.
You can get a handheld emulator.
Yeah, but again, it's illegal.
And so is downloading music off of YouTube. It's the kind of
I don't download music off of YouTube.
It's that kind of specialty illegal where it's the illegal for bitches.
It's illegal only because companies are like, boo-hoo, I'm gonna lose
It's
$2.
illegal because multi-million-dollar corporations are losing a single penny, and I'm supposed to weep a tear. I shall weep
it's just like when GameStop shit happened. They're like, oh no, you can't do that. The Redditors are making us lose money.
Yeah. Okay, I don't understand that, but that's pretty...
There's one simple way to understand what happened. Ape, together. Strong.
Reddit did something good for once. That's cool.
Yeah, but that's basically how they did it. Ape together strong.
So the idea was basically there was a short stop for GameStop, which is a hedge fund company or a holdings company decided to essentially wager off stocks they owed for GameStop due to them thinking they would get a better deal. They would end up making money. Basically, they owe these certain amount of GameStop stocks to GameStop. However, they understand that by looking at the markets, if they make the GameStop stock worth less and sell it off, they can buy it back for a profit, and they would actually gain money when they give it back to GameStop. However, Redditors on was it like Wall Street Bets
Yeah.
sniffed out that they were going to short that stock, and so by buying up GameStop stock, they rose its price. And so now these holding companies, which legally have to buy these stocks back and sell them back to its owners, they legally are binded by law to purchase back these stocks. Initially, they were trying to make it so where it costs less money than what they got them for initially, so they would get profit. Now, a bunch
They
of people
lose a fuck ton of money.
a bunch of people buying up these GameStop stocks make them cost way more. So a single GameStop stock would cost like $300+. And if you're a holdings company who was promised a couple million of each of these stocks, that's a lot of money. And so essentially, they got them good.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happened in recent history. On to another news.
Anyway, and then the people with all the money were like, "We lost money." Wipes dollars with, no, I meant
Wipes
tears with
wipes tears with
$100 bills,
$1 trillion bills. Yeah.
So,
I'm losing money. I'm gonna starve.
so I have a question for you, Beckett.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you saw the entire trailer for Neon White, but I don't know. So you mentioned that like it's if you could just use the cards whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay.
But, like,
I know what you're talking
I
about.
thought
Yeah.
that would be right up your alley because of like it's kind of high octane action and like I don't know. It just kind of seems like a game for you.
It has a really
I don't
interesting.
know what the game you're talking about, honestly.
It has a really.
Neon White.
It has a really interesting approach
Yeah, I don't know
to
what that
action.
is.
And
Watch the trailer after we're done with this battle, and then you see. It was on the Nintendo Direct, but
It falls.
yeah.
It falls very close to this subcategory of speedrunning games, where you go through this linear path trying to perfect this route. My problem with it is that it's kind of exclusively a speedrunning game. You're literally meant to go
I think
through
it's
this.
also a puzzle game as well because you can sacrifice other cards for other abilities. So it's kind of like which card do I need to use in what specific thing at what specific time, which I think is pretty interesting. It changes up the typical gameplay a bit.
Damn it!
My
I thought
problem.
you're still there because I saw the clown car.
Oh no.
My problem with that is
Well,
that.
this occasionally happens when I'm hosting an arena, just connection loss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great
I think
online
I
service,
think-
Nintendo.
I think that was like my
Thanks,
Or it
Nintendo.
might be my internet, I'm unsure.
Yeah, because I saw Discord just cut out for a second there as well.
Yes, but keep in mind,
Right.
Discord was able to recuperate that misconnection. Switch
Well, yeah, but I think
dropped
when
that frame
online
for a
does
single
it, it just-
moment.
when online like disconnects for a moment, I think it just disconnects because it's like
Well,
I don't know.
that means it's bad online.
Whatever.
Other
Anyway,
other
back to what
games
we're
can
talking
handle
about.
that.
let's get
All
back
right.
to what we're talking about. Let's not
So
get off track.
Neon White, the issue with its card system is that it's set in stage the certain amount of cards in certain locations in a route. So although it's neat that you have this sacrificial mechanic and you're meant to use it at the right time, that also leaves very little thinking to the player, because as opposed to giving a bunch of tools to the player for them to choose at their leisure and use at their leisure, you end up getting a stage that has a set path that is best played a certain way, and you get not a lot of creativity in that movement.
Yeah, but I feel like since it's a puzzle, it's supposed to try to like it's the whole goal is to try to figure it out and not be like. Well, I guess you can be creative with a puzzle and figuring it out.
So you're
but,
saying
like,
is it
trying
forces
to
you to
be-
use one solution?
Essentially,
Yeah.
it'll boil down to one optimal solution, where it could be a large number of solutions if the player were allowed to choose the tools they could use.
Like Breath of the Wild, there's like 50 million ways to do literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Imagine entering in a dungeon in Breath of the Wild, one of the tower trials, and you get one set of equipment, and you have to use that set of equipment.
Yeah, you only get the bomb room. No
Yeah,
magnet or
You
stasis.
can't use a magnet, no stasis, no weapons, no armor. You get the bomb rune, and you have to figure out this puzzle that way.
No weapons. Don't you mean the normal gameplay?
So, but I wonder if like so they only show snippets of the game. So I wonder like how the entire game is going to be like if complicated wise. Like if you'll get more cards and you can do more things with them, like more combinations and see what the fastest route is. Kind of like
Yeah.
What's another game like that? I'm trying to think of one. like where you try to find the fastest route or whatever.
You have
like-
marble games. There's
Half-minute hero.
You have a number of marble games that fall pretty neatly into that category, where when you try to go for like times, you try to find like routes that, basically it becomes speedrunning the video game.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the appeal of it is trying to find the most optimal like way you can finish things. I guess Mario Maker is kind of like that because you're trying to find like, especially the speedrun Mario Maker levels that you do or that people do.
What? Holy
Like,
shit! Speedrun Mario Maker levels are speedrunning? What the fuck?
That game falls under that subgenre of speedrunning
Especially
games.
with the ninja things.
The ninja speedruns?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty fun.
I'm bad at
them. You guys
them.
watch Little Curbs?
Nah.
No.
His Mario Maker speedruns are actually pretty like enjoyable to
I watch a different Mario Maker person, like something Panga.
Yeah, Pangea or what? Panda. Or I forgot what.
Pangea Panga, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Pingu! I love Pingu.
Yeah, let's go. My favorite Mario Maker creator, Pingu,
Let's go. Dun, dun,
which is
dun, dun.
level 2-2.
Well,
Oh
what do you
yeah.
think of the art style or whatever?
Oh, I think the game's got a very good visual design.
I feel like that also was right up your alley. Was just like the badass design of the characters.
It reminds me of No More Heroes. Speaking of No More Heroes, No More Heroes
Oh, yeah.
3, let's go.
I thought, yeah, it looked pretty good.
That was probably the best reveal of the
set.
set.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, in my opinion, I don't know, but
So be aware, all I saw from the direct itself was the Smash character that I stopped watching.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I went back and I just skimmed through to see what the games were.
Can you give me information about the other stuff? Because I know literally nothing other than Skyward Sword.
There was
So,
30,000 JRPGs. There were like
Holy-
80 million.
3,000, but
There were 80 million JRPGs.
here's the thing, though. So with No More Heroes 3, right? I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted if I should get No More Heroes 3 based on I haven't played No More Heroes 1 and 2, and I want to play those ones before 3.
What is No More Heroes?
No More Heroes is a very fun character action game featuring the story of Travis Touchdown rising through the ranks of becoming a master assassin, all because he is attracted to a lady.
Nice.
Is that actually the plot?
Yes. He wants to bang the French chick.
He's becoming an assassin for the plot.
He wants to bang the French chick, and to do so, she's like, oh, well, you gotta go through the list of the top 10 assassins in the world. Now, he does this. She is just tricking him to do this so that she can go to the top of the ranks and own basically this corporation of assassin agencies.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how that goes. That's the first game. Second game's kind of similar. He gets
This is the best plot of any game ever.
It's pretty good. It's a very comedy-based game. It's very fun.
One thing I like about Xenoblade games is the comedy's really good.
Sometimes.
Yeah, comedies.
Especially the first one with Ryan in the butt.
Have you seen?
They're
do you
not
know the
all
plot of
good.
Xenoblade?
Huh?
What?
Do you know the plot of Xenoblade, Beckett?
No.
No. Oh,
No.
it's actually really good.
It's complex
At
as
least
hell.
I think you find the first one to be good. The second one's pretty anime tropey a lot of times, but I still find it enjoyable.
But I feel like even though it has a lot of tropes, the characters are good enough
The
that it
characters
doesn't
are
matter.
really good. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's definitely pandered towards, like, the anime audience. I find that it uses anime tropes a whole bunch, which isn't a bad thing. It's just pandering to a type
They're
of
tropes
audience.
for a reason.
Maybe. Sometimes. I've seen Xenoblade 2 cutscenes. Not all of them are.
yeah.
Mm,
I think it's great
Poppy's
story.
introduction be like...
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I enjoy Xenoblade is the story. It can be really good
Yeah,
sometimes.
but Poppy as a character is a lot of the time comedic relief. But then one time when the main character is seriously getting depressed or something, they're just the one that fucking is like, we need you. And it's just so good.
Sometimes.
After them always being comedic relief.
Yeah, the comedic relief
That
characters
them
whenever they
being
get
so
their like
serious.
dramatic moments really good. I don't know.
It all depends on how it's handled. And my evidence...
It's handled well,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
My showcase of it being handled was handled poorly.
hmm
What
But
the
dude,
hell
I
just
can't-
happened there?
But so now that we have like most of the Xenoblade music, the only music we don't have in Smash is Xenoblade X's music. So I cannot wait for the meme where it's like, I need a bigger gun.
I need a bigger gun. Best part about that, you get the music even if you don't buy the DLC character, right?
No.
Oh, that sucks. I don't get to hear it. I need a
So,
bigger gun.
so you also don't
You
get the
you
spirits,
just
but
get
for
to
some
be King K.
reason-
I need a bigger gun.
I need a bigger
So-
gun.
so- For some reason, since we started the podcast, we're playing with
Start
spirits, by
Rob's
the way.
final smash. I need a
And-
bigger gun.
For some reason, Reagan has some DLC spirits, even though you can only get those when you buy them, and he hasn't bought those packs. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it was
how.
maybe it was a free update after the fact.
I'm pretty sure you might be
maybe-
able to get them from other sources, rarely. Because I think I got at least one of them from the Spirit Board. Or the shop.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
For like the spirits being free, or
Yeah, the spirits being free. Even though I don't
Yeah.
like them, hiding them behind DLC
It's like trophies.
Okay,
you
so
want to
do you
collect them
prefer
because they're
spirits or
cool.
trophies?
trophies.
Yeah, I think trophies are better, even though
Trophies
I
are
like spirits.
better. They're 3D models.
They're way better.
If the game was delayed for trophies, I would probably be fine with that.
The thing
And then
is,
maybe we don't have DLC characters, and maybe we just get the base game characters. Which
not only
Well,
not only are spirits less effort and less visually appealing and don't have descriptions that give any kind of cool feedback and also don't do a lot of things, they were also forced to be a gameplay mechanic, and it's not a good gameplay mechanic, so it's just bad all
Yeah.
around.
well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's not a good one. It's just not a fair one.
It's a gameplay
no,
mechanic
it's not
that
a good one.
it's a gameplay mechanic that if they took out of the game would improve, which would be bad.
Here's the thing though, right? Like if trophies and spirits were in the game, I wouldn't like because stickers were something in Brawl, right? And they were
Yes.
basically the same thing.
but
So
they
I
weren't.
wouldn't mind that.
They weren't
But,
the only thing.
Yeah, there were still trophies in that game, and no one knew about the stickers mechanic until Some Call Me Johnny made a video on it.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Here's
I think.
because like
Maybe?
if
I forget.
I don't know, I think that like
Only thing anyone knows about Brawl is that Meta Knight's in it.
Meta Knight.
I saw one video where it was Meta Knight modded so their sword was as big as Sephiroth's. It was beautiful.
Oh, it does. Oh.
The
think
top
that-
comment: Meta Knight is back in SS tier.
He never left. He's always been. Are you talking about Ultimate? Okay.
Ultimate, not.
Yeah.
so. Here's the thing, right? With Smash, I think it was very ambitious.
Oh, ambition is a good description.
Like, cause think about it. They were getting every single character back, every single
Mhm.
stage, every single piece of music,
Yep.
and so when they did that, they had to sacrifice trophies. And I feel like
Did
if
they?
you
I don't
had
agree.
more
Did they?
development on it-
Did they really need to sacrifice? I don't think they needed to do anything. I
well,
think
to get
they're
the game
just
out-
lazy.
If they wanted to get the game out on time, they kind of just had to be
On
like,
what
okay,
time? That's all their fault. All they had to
It's
do was say the
Nintendo's
game's
game.
not done.
Can't they
It's
just go,
Nintendo's
yeah,
fault.
release it later?
Look at what happened to Cyberpunk. Game took 9 years to come out, and it still didn't. It wasn't finished on release. If they had just buckled down and said, "Guys, we just need one more year. We have the basis. We need to do the polish," they would have released it, and it would have been the next Skyrim. But now it's gonna always be remembered as the game that was rushed to hell and
To be
completely
fair,
had
though,
nothing.
I knew that it was going to be crushed to hell because also that game was very ambitious.
But it didn't need to be rushed to hell. This is the problem. These things don't have to be rushed. They just take their
No.
time.
I just think like I knew like everyone was gonna get hype about it, and then I knew that it was going to be bad because I've seen it happen so many other times. Like especially with like the one we talked about in the first episode of the podcast, forgot the name of it.
Mhm.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2, right? Like even though it got Game of the Year, right? But like people still didn't like it because
Well, that
like,
game's essentially the Oscar bait of gaming.
Yeah.
It was there for awards, and you're never gonna satisfy everybody. That is a true statement.
Death
You're never
Stranding as
gonna
well.
you're never gonna satisfy everybody. But there's a big difference between trying and putting everything you have into releasing the best product that you possibly can, and acting like you have some imaginary release date that you have to release the game by, otherwise the game will never exist ever, and then ruining your game because of that.
Yeah, but Death Stranding is also another like example
So,
as
Payne,
well.
you forgot to equip a spirit.
Well,
so
Yeah, I
kicked
know.
your
That's why I
ass.
died so fast.
Death Stranding
Yeah.
isn't really a good example because that's just a bad game. It wasn't rushed. It's actually very polished.
No,
it's
but it
just
was
the
a
game
game that
premise
was-
is bad.
It was a game that was very hyped for, but turned out being bad.
That one, yeah. The hype for that one was less about the game though, and more about the producer,
Right.
Hideo Kojima. Which, because he can do good things, he just wanted to do something else, and that something else isn't what everybody wanted. Some people
and also that something else was bad.
Well, some people who were Metal Gear fans, were just like, I'm just glad we got Hideo Kojima, and they liked Stranding because it had some of that Hideo Kojima funk. People who weren't completely enamored by it, though, were able to see that it wasn't a great game.
Yeah. And for
Guys,
some reason, it
look,
was nominated
it's a
for Game of
game
the
where
Year.
you walk. Isn't that the most fun part of games?
Isn't it? Isn't this game so good?
Isn't it like the basic thing for games?
You're
Like
crazy.
if you don't walk in a video game, then it's just like you don't.
If
have
there's
a
no
video
walking
game.
in a
You're-
game, it's a bad game.
You're crazy.
That's what
insane.
Sakurai said.
That's what Sakurai said.
That's his quote. A game with walking can be good. A game without walking
Well,
is
never good. Yes.
A game without walking is stinky poo poo.
A game with walking is masterpiece 10 out of 10. A game without walking is IGN 10 out of 10.
I think one of my favorite fake Sakurai quotes is one where he said, "I saw an image where it said the game objective was to try to not come."
Yeah,
The
that
game
one.
objective
But-
seemed
but-
to be to come.
But the
Yes,
game
this is
seems to
bad
be
game
built around.
design.
Yes, this is bad game design. That's a good one.
You know, it's also technically a fake quote from Sakurai, the "good boys and girls" thing, because he didn't actually say that in the video. He was actually just mentioning the ESRB.
Oh no,
rating.
that fake quote was for Miyamoto, not Sakurai. The try not to come
Oh.
one. The try not to come one was for Miyamoto. The Sakurai one, Good
Oh,
Boys
yeah.
and Girls, was about something unrelated.
Do you remember? I don't know if you watched the Smash Direct for Wii U or whatever, but do you remember the quote where Sakurai's like, "Hello, it's me, Sakurai. Yes, I'm still alive."
I do not remember. I didn't watch any of those. That is funny though.
It's great.
Yes, I'm still alive.
He gets younger. It feels like he gets younger every time we see him, which is kind of like
He might have a
Sakurai's like
skincare. He might have
Like,
a
I
skincare.
said-
Every purchase of Smash lowers his age.
See, I said earlier in Discord, like the commentators are the best thing about Smash, but honestly, Sakurai is the best thing about Smash. He's so wholesome.
Sakurai's got a great personality. I wish he
Sakur-
was allowed to
Sakurai
make the
isn't
game.
the last DLC
Yeah.
fighter. I'm not buying it.
He
I
oversees
wish
the game,
he.
but he doesn't make it.
Yeah, I
don't
wish he
think.
had a bigger impact because you could definitely tell when there's a good designer who could do good things.
Right.
Look at my
I don't think
main
he
man
wants to make
Miyazaki. Look at my main man Miyazaki, all right? You want to talk about good game designers. Let me tell you. This man does not miss. We're talking about the man who made Dark Souls 1 and said, "No, I'm not going to be a one-hit wonder," and then proceeded to make exclusively games that were even better than that game. So he just is in masterpiece mode 9 trillion. He makes
You know-
no bad games.
You know what we need? We need a crossover game of all like developers, or not like developers making the game, but like a game about the developers or something. That'd be really fun.
Game Dev Simulator?
I don't know if that would be really fun.
No, I could just imagine.
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
we
I don't know what that game would
need.
be.
Is it a game
know.
of
I imagine it
developing
kinda
a
like
game? Is it
either-
a game where you're just watching
like
people develop a
Project
game?
X Zone or whatever it's called, the DS game.
Yeah,
but
Project X Zone, yes.
something
So
like that,
okay,
or maybe a
you
fighting
mean an
game, I don't
RP? You mean like an RPG featuring these characters, not like a documentary about these people?
No, I mean
Okay,
like a,
okay.
Like either like a fighting, like it's just a crossover game, like either a fighting game or RPG, like the. one
I think
mentioned.
that'd be a fun like indie title, but I don't know about AAA.
Yeah, it wouldn't be AAA. I think it'd just be like a fun, like kind of like the Mii's or whatever,
Dummies.
like Mii games or whatever. Like me. Speaking of which, Miitopia.
Yeah,
That's
Miitopia.
also something. Good.
You can get
Honestly,
a horse.
I wanted
Haha.
to play Miitopia, and it has like really good music. Like if you listen to the OST, it's super
What
good.
the fuck is Metopia?
That's a.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
How do you
that's
not-
what I'm saying. What
So,
is
okay.
Metopia? That's a great question.
Let me explain for you, class. So, as you can see,
No.
the Mii's were created in the Wii series of the generation of consoles. They were created mostly as a thing that represents
They're to
yourself
represent me.
in-game.
Do you
Exactly.
get it? Me.
Now,
And it's spelled like we.
Now, in the future of Nintendo's consoles, they were trying to decide what they should do with the Mii's, and so in response to that, they created a bunch of different things like Tomodachi Life and a bunch of different.
Tomodachi Life is
Wii
sick
games.
though, unlike Metopia.
Well, okay, so we're hoping we're actually gonna get a sequel to that because of Metopia's success.
That's what
on
I'm
Switch.
saying. But they
But,
should have just
Metopia
made
is-
Tomodachi Life 2 instead of Metopia. That would have been better.
But essentially, it's similar to Tomodachi Life, but instead it takes
It's
kind of like an
not
RPG
similar to
kind of approach.
Tomodachi Life, though. That's the thing. It's not similar to Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi is a very entertaining, comedic-based simulator,
Well,
allowing
this
you
is the
to.
same thing. It's a comedic-based simulator, but like an
It's not a
RPG.
comedic-based simulator. It's just a basic
It is.
RPG that has characters' faces smacked onto other
It's
characters.
not
Damn
though,
it.
because you can.
It doesn't feel like
make
they're
them interact with each
characters.
other.
Yeah,
make them
but
interact with
not
each
to
other,
the
that's what they
extent of
said.
Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life is entertaining because that's the main focus, but the main focus
But
now
you
is
can
just
make
an RPG.
you can make the main villain one of your friends. I feel like that's a really funny appeal.
I can do that myself with any game if I
You can
had
do
enough
that with
time with
RPG
Photoshop.
Maker.
With
Yeah,
my
I
imagination.
can do that with
Yeah.
RPG Maker. And
But
then
it's like the same thing with Mario Maker, right? Like it's
Damn.
like you can make your own like kind of RPG with like different characters. Like that's the appeal of it is making your own game.
Yeah, but do you
and have
actually
fun.
make the game, or do you just make the characters in a preset game that's already been made
Is it?
for you?
Is it?
Well, that's the same thing with Mario Maker and RPG Maker. Do you
No.
make the game or do you do it in a preset thing?
RPG Maker and Mario Maker are essentially an engine for which you build a game. Well, less Mario Maker. RPG Maker is an engine for which you build a game in.
Okay, I can say that. Yeah. But
Mario Maker
like,
is-
Mario Maker actually has levels in it. You can play like.
Yeah, Mario Maker's an middle ground. It's essentially an engine that you build games in, but it also has gameplay elements that is standalone. But something like Metopia is not an engine. It's a game that just has mechanics for customization.
hmm
which-
Okay, I can see that, but like
Yeah.
still, it's pretty entertaining though. Like with those like customizable mechanics, especially because you can just make any character like because since people have gotten so creative with Mii's
Mhm.
now, you can like basically make almost anyone a villain.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. But
Oh, Mr. Bing is the hero.
I just, you know,
Yo, we should actually have like a
Mr. Bing.
Utopia where Mr. Bing.
I would say he's a villain, but he would never.
You would never. He's
would
after the
never.
safety of the children.
He sees
I
the
think it'd
main
be pretty
villain
funny.
with a sword. Is that a safety violation? And the villain's sword
Yo,
is just
we
gone.
could just have. We should have like a bunch of like Mr. Bing and 3 other teachers or whatever as like the character, like the main characters. Like Mr. Paxton would be pretty funny.
Mr.
And Mr. White.
Mr. Johnson would be the main character because he's funny.
hmm
My main man, Mr. Johnson.
And Mr. White as well, our old.
Oh yeah, Mr. White, he's in there.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of work. I'd just do that in RPG
Yeah.
Maker if I really wanted to do that.
I don't know what the price of it is. I hope it's not like a $60 game.
Oh
That
yeah,
would
if
kinda-
that was a $60
that
game though,
would
what now?
That I would agree that probably wouldn't be $60 because there's as compared to Skyward Sword, there's not much content in that.
Skyward Sword compared to other games also doesn't have much content.
Well, that depends on what game you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to something like
Other AAA $60 titles.
what about Hades though? Hades is a pretty expensive game. Like you can
Hey,
can have so
That
much
is
fun
the
with it.
that is the worst example you could bring up for your case because Hades is less than $60. It's an indie title and it has more than Skyward Sword.
Mm.
I've heard about
Well,
Hades
actually, is the
before. What is
physical-
it?
How much is the physical release going to be? Do you know?
Not $60 because it would not be the same. It would not be more than the price of the game digitally.
Well, I think it's $60. So it also comes with the digital soundtrack. Like you can download a code on your PC to listen to the soundtrack on your PC, and also comes with an art book of the characters. I don't know if that's going to be like what they're going to justify as $60 with the game, but if that is what they're gonna do, then I don't know. But speaking of which, that was also part of the Nintendo Direct, and I've been waiting for a physical release of Hades because I wanted to play it, but I didn't want a digital version since I already have FF7 downloaded and it's taking up most of my storage. So I really just wanted a Hades physical version, but there was none. It was only on Steam and Nintendo Switch. So thankfully, they did this. You guys there?
Hold on, yeah.
Yeah.
One sec.
Whenever I'm playing Smash, I always get more focused on it.
I'm just I'm just looking. Remember when you made
Remember when Cole rented Cruise for the Wii?
Oh, dude, remember when you rented
my
Cruise
gosh.
for the Wii? What I was gonna say though is remember when you made the statement, oh man, this Nintendo Direct is 50 minutes long. It's bound to have something like Bayo 3, Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2.
Well, we did get news on Breath of the Wild too.
Did we?
Yeah.
And by
well,
news, you mean the man
fair,
said there was no
based on
news?
everything
That
else
isn't
we've gotten,
news.
We've gotten no news of Breath of the Wild
That's
2. But now that we know
anti-news.
that
That's literally reverse news. I saw the clip. The only thing they said about Breath of the Wild 2 was that there was no new information.
No, but
That
they
is
said that-
I
literally
wanna know
not
why they-
news.
No.
I want to know why they announced it
That
so
was
early.
going smoothly.
Jamie, pull
Like,
that video up. One sec.
compared to other Nintendo or not Nintendo, not even Nintendo, other game companies, they don't say what's behind their game development stuff, right?
You know,
But at
most
least they
companies
said
don't do
their
that.
development's going smoothly. At least there's some news on it.
That
said
isn't
that
news.
it's
That's to be
working well.
expected. That's to be expected. News would be saying otherwise. It's to be expected.
News would be
Development's
saying
going well.
Metroid Prime 4
At least we're
development
getting
is
something
getting
this year.
restarted.
Yes, that's news. If you say nothing, then it's expected that there is nothing new to say.
News- News has the word new in it, probably because it has new information
Once-
you didn't know before.
One second. I just wanna see one thing really quick out of this video. One sec.
I was thinking, look, okay, so I was saying the things that other Nintendo
No.
fans
Just
wanted at the
give-
time.
give me a
because
minute, give me a minute.
They're obnoxious, right?
Give me. I gotta see something. Just everyone stay silent. I wanna listen to something in this video.
No, I'm being as loud as possible.
To the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now. Yeah, that's news.
Right. Okay. And here's the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to share anything with us. 'cause,
That's crazy because it's like you said that you expected something for
I
them
didn't
to be
expect
said
it. I was
literally
saying
right here
it
in this
could
statement.
happen. I wasn't saying I expected it to happen.
It's bound to
think
have
about it,
something
right?
like Bayo
about it,
3,
right?
Prime 4, or Breath of the Wild 2.
So people are like, oh.
It's bound to
okay,
have
listen,
something like Bayo
listen.
3, Prime 4, or Breath of the Wild 2. It
Something
has
like
to
that.
have
I never
one.
said it was
I'm
that.
literally looking on my screen the exact
no.
statement you
Listen,
said.
listen.
It says
Here's-
it's bound to have something like Bayo 3, Prime 4, or Breath of the Wild 2.
And it did. It had Splatoon 3. That's
That
pretty
wasn't
big
what.
news.
Those are not even equal in the slightest. No,
Not to
I
you.
couldn't. Oh, it's funny you didn't
Okay.
say Splatoon 3 in that list of
Well,
things
I
that could
didn't
happen.
expect Splatoon 3.
That's
That was a pretty
crazy
big
how
thing.
you expected these big
Okay,
titles
listen,
and got
listen.
none of them.
Guys, I
Listen.
expected Mario Odyssey 2!
Okay, that's pretty unrealistic. But listen,
You say
right?
that's
So-
unrealistic?
Is it
Why?
unrealistic?
Why would that be unrealistic? Bro, Odyssey sold incredibly well, and Bowser's Fury just came out showcasing new 3D content. Why wouldn't a new 3D Mario game not happen?
Is Bowser's Fury any good?
It's
Okay,
good. It's
uh,
pretty good, yeah.
Wait, you have it?
No, I saw it
No.
though.
I think. I'm
Would
gonna
you
get
say
it
it's worth
eventually,
it?
But
I would say Bowser's Fury is a good experience. Yeah, it's worth it.
But is it
it's
worth
worth
the
the
price?
$60 though.
Is it?
Like with the original game online, where you can play online with friends, and also get basically like half another game. With
How
it, you just
how
spend
much did you say it
$60.
was? How much did you say it was?
It's $60.
$60 for that Wii U game. This all right. It is a better improvement
Wait, you can
because
play it
it's
online,
online.
with friends?
Yes, it has
you can play online
online,
with friends.
Okay,
which
then
is an improvement.
I'd say that's more worth
Yeah,
it than the Wii
That's
U.
more worth it than something like Skyward
Oh,
Sword.
to be fair, the
re-release.
Wii U should have had that.
The Wii U should have definitely had that, but the Nintendo Switch getting that is it worth $60? No, but with
Also,
Bowser's
it gets
Fury,
actual content.
it gets actual content. I'd say it's worth like $49.99, but I think in
I'd
this
say something
case,
similar with the Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
I
It
think-
has actual extra content.
I think in this case, a game costing $60 isn't absurd because it actually brings new content to the table. It's a new experience. There's actually stuff to do there that you couldn't have done 10 years prior, which is the reason you make a game cost full retail price. It still is a game that existed prior, but it's not that.
It's not bad.
It's not just that.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure the characters are faster, which thank goodness, because man, fucking Champion World was a
that is a
mistake.
good update for that game. My only complaint is that it works off of Little Big Planet rules, where you can't have the camera split on online play. It has to be everyone's in the same camera. So.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb, because especially for like people who speedrun the game and are really good, it kind of just like leaves everyone dust and not being able to play.
Wouldn't it be sick if you could just have, I don't know, something crazy like a Super Mario 64 3D title where it's over-the-shoulder third-person camera, but then you can also play online with up to 3 friends for 4-person multiplayer, but then you can each run free roam on a full, completely completed hub area, completing
Have you guys heard
completely
the song about
separate
that new
stages
Lego
at
Star
once.
Wars
Wouldn't that be
game?
crazy? Huh?
Have you heard about that
already
new
new
Lego
Star
Star Wars game?
Is it new or is it just a recollection?
It's a whole new game.
Is it over the sequel trilogy?
It's over all of it,
Interesting. I mean,
I thought that already came out.
and it looks really good
I mean,
because it's actually changing some things. Like the camera is different.
interesting.
So okay, so back what I was going to say, right? So
Mhm.
people were like, "Where's Breath of the Wild news, Nintendo?" In like 2020, they literally in the trailer that it was announced that the thing was going to happen. They literally said it just started development. Like
Okay.
they only had that.
Why'd
cutscene,
they
I'm assuming.
why'd they
Like, so
release
why are
something
they
about it
expecting
that
Dude,
early?
Even
though?
like even now, I'm so surprised that we're getting news this year, because like seeing how long it took Breath of the Wild to be developed for like 7 years.
Wasn't
like,
that mostly with
2
the
years
engine
for a
though?
sequel is very like impossible.
I thought most of the work in Breath of the Wild was the engine.
It isn't even slightly impossible. Look at Guilty Gear Strive.
How long did Guilty Gear Strive take to make?
Guilty Gear Strive, all right? They didn't say a whole lot during the initial we just started development stage, but when they got up on the big stage saying, here's our tech demo, people were like, God, I can't wait to get hands-on. And throughout the next literal 2 years, we got nothing but, here's a new character. Here's a new character. You were never too long away from seeing the next thing the game had to offer you. And even though the demo dropped and it went beautifully, we're still getting character trailers.
Only one character trailer though.
Yeah, we got
By the way,
Eno.
did you catch the fighting game? Did you catch the fighting?
I got that demo. Over the round table? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the round table. So, I didn't know that there was going to be a Guilty Gear character in Sam's show. That's actually pretty cool.
I didn't know. Oh, wait. Was there a new round table?
Yeah, that just came out. That's the Eno trailer came out, and the new SNK character trailer also.
Oh, no,
and
I didn't.
also the SNK versus Capcom.
Man, no one tells me anything.
SNK versus Capcom. You know the one on what's it called?
Not the Mega Drive.
mobile-
I know what you're talking about. The Neo
the-
Geo Pocket.
Right. Yeah.
That
so
one,
that's
yes,
coming out on
I
Nintendo
did
Switch.
see that.
I might get that.
I
that
am
and
going to
play it
get that.
sometime.
I wish it was. I wish they were also just making CVS2 reported, but that is a good game. Surprisingly, that Pocket game is very good.
Yeah, I might get that, but like, all right.
It
I'm
isn't
probably
a good
gonna get that.
replacement for CVS2, but it is a good game just in general.
Yeah. Though I will.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen anything on it, I think you should look at some of the stuff for the new Lego Star Wars game because it looks really good.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen a
who do
few
you-
things. It looks pretty decent, yeah.
Who do you expect? I think it's gonna be Biken, because obviously, like. That's
Oh, who do you
very-
think's getting in Sam's show?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Biken because obviously, you know.
Biken makes a whole
Right.
lot of sense, but it might just end up being Soul for no particular reason.
Yeah. Which
Because
doesn't-
he's the
which
main
doesn't-
character.
Soul-
But I do like Soul,
Soul
though.
doesn't match.
I
Soul
do
doesn't match
like
the style
Soul,
of Sam's show.
I do
How would
like
they-
Soul.
Especially because like, so like
What the hell just
So,
happened there?
3D graphics compared to Guild.
I'm sorry. Hello.
What?
Hello.
Someone call the ambulance. This man's dead.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh Jesus.
That's the only possible explanation.
This gamer discussion time has turned sour.
He just had a bruh moment.
Money, 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 money.